higher pricing, catering to their fans, not moving to other verticals, in terms of content verticals. That's not the path they're on. They also had a great 2020 because of the pandemic. They raised guidance, and I wonder, was that a mistake? We've been holding off because we think they have to basically come back and revisit their strategy.
Michael, just in terms of this ad-based model that Netflix is going to push out now, how long do you think this would take to actually give us some growth, give us some results? Because the numbers I'm seeing, a lot of people are saying 2 years. Got to wait 2 years for something like that to generate the results we need to see.
Yeah, well, the big question for me to start is, what's the price point, right? Like, they've sold in 70 million U.S. homes at $15. That's a great business model. It's without the growth, right? The question is, what do you do, John, to get people to take advertising? How much do you cut the price? And they've been raising price forever. So all of a sudden you become ad dependent, more cyclical. You compete with people who are in the business. You have to add sales force. You have to change the content offering. Like, it's going to be very disruptive for the core Netflix fan to have advertising, right? We've all skipped through titles. That's how closely we binge, right? We skip titles. Now you're going to tell me between my next episode, I'm going to have a 2-minute interstitial with commercials. That's not the product that we signed up for. So that, to me, last night, the comment by Reed, you guys played it, felt like it kind of came out of left field, right? It's something they wanted to say maybe to stop the bleeding, but it wasn't well thought out. It wasn't in the investor letter. It was kind of a strange way to admit a strategy change.
Michael, we've had a lot of other people on the street, and not to rip into the analyst community too much, it's embarrassing for them already, where they've had to cut their price targets. But the most bearish note I've seen came from the company itself in the shareholder letter. I think that was the most bearish note from everybody. Four factors as to why they're struggling. The first factor, increasingly clear, the pace of growth into our underlying addressable market is partly dependent on factors we don't directly control. I mean, Michael, right there is a growth company saying we've gone X growth. So for an analyst now, what kind of multiple do you have to put on a growth company that's gone X growth?
Well, John, you know me well, and we looked at cash flow and earnings, right? And I had a problem in 2020 because I couldn't go to some of the parts, revenue multiples, DCFs and 20-year DCFs. Like, you have to look at earnings and cash flow. That's a shock, right? Earnings and cash flow. And the problem is, on cash flow, it's just not there because the business doesn't generate a lot of cash. Earnings, you're getting closer to maybe seeing a bit of a floor. That's down a third today. But I think you have, as you know, a rotation into value, more GARP investors, and they look at different metrics. And you have to now, the outlook is so uncertain that I think you have a way to go. And that's kind of our, has been our view. Now, we were wrong on the way up, but I never changed our way of doing it. We felt like, we were the old men on the street looking at it a certain way. But look, we've seen this before, you and I, and certainly Tom. It's about earnings and cash flow, and we're getting to a different metric, which is not good for a company. It's a growth stock.
And this is really, really important. Do you think the street is getting there? You mentioned it just briefly, but do we get away from the obsession with subs on the next quarter, the quarter after that? How long does this take?
It's those downgrades. The people went from buy to sell, or buy to hold kind of price targets. They can't get up in front of their sales force and clients and then go back to the old methodology, right? Like, that's over. And I think for the rest of the industry, like, you're going to have a hard time selling me on a sum of the parts story using revenue multiples, because that's what Netflix has. It's just changed overnight. And I think, to your point, there's no going back because of all the downgrades. And the market has finally seen this the past year or so, has rethought how they look at these companies, which to me is healthy.
Michael, just finally, just a final question from me, just on the broader industry and the price of content and the debt loads of this company and traditional media companies as well. This will be treated almost exclusively today by the media and, to some extent, the South Side too, and the investor community as an equity issue, an equity problem. Is there a debt problem here too?
Only if you think we're going into a recession, right? If you think that we're heading into a 2 or 3 quarter recession where advertising gets cut, don't forget, like, the guys who are transitioning are using the stable business of linear to fund streaming. But if you think linear becomes unstable because of a recession, that would scare me on the debt side. Today, not a problem. But if you think, hey, Michael, we're a quarter or two away from having real troubles on advertising, that's going to be a problem for the debt.
Michael, you've been skeptical for a long, long time, and I know that was painful at times watching this stock surge, but it's paid off eventually in a massive way. Michael Nathanson, thank you, sir, from the team at Moffett-Nathanson. The final word from here, the question is whether the company has gotten cheap enough for new buyers to step in. Mr. Nathanson, Michael Nathanson, saying we would argue not yet. That stock is down by 34% to 230. negative in a big way. Up next on the programme, we'll get to the trading diary from New York City this morning. Good morning. This is Bloomberg.
You can simply type phrases in everyday English in the command line. Compare financials. Find people. Analyze markets. You can enter phrases or ask questions. What do you want to know today? Ask a question or visit SearchGo to find answers now.
"25 minutes into the session, this stock is down hard. We are negative almost 35% and shaving more than $50 billion off the market cap of Netflix. Netflix down hard. The equity market hanging in there just about on the S&P 500, positive by just 0.02%. And now the pain starts to come through on the Nasdaq 100, negative 8, almost 0.9%. As the price action, here's the trading diary. President Biden meeting with the Secretary of Defense and Joint Chiefs of Staff, 4 p.m. Eastern. Tesla and United Airlines reporting after the closing bell. Powell and Lagarde speaking on Thursday. That's one to watch. And finally, another round of initial jobless claims and some PMIs from Europe going into the weekend. From New York City for our audience worldwide, thank you for choosing Bloomberg TV. This was the countdown to the open. This is Bloomberg.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing today? This is your boy Christian Israel, and you are tuned into Christ and Crypto in the Morning. This is where every single day, guys, we discuss what's happening not just in the financials and the world around you, but with Christ being at our center, we talk a lot about crypto, politics, and things of that nature. And today is going to be no different. If you guys don't know this, we're here every single day, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. We rock and roll with 3 different subjects, okay? And I'm going to hit that record button to make sure I get this. The 3 different subjects that we do upload later, guys, are long sum, short sum. When we go over daily analysis and TA, we're going to knock that out today. Today, we're going to go over DAG, which is Constellation. We're going to go over Netflix. We're going to go over Bitcoin, XRP, XLM, Ethereum. Then, guys, we're going to go over our daily topics, which is the second section of the day. We're going to discuss Constellation Network in general and DAG in general and where that's taken us. Like I said, we're going to start diving into cryptos again to let you know where we should have as this correction today. This little pullback is going, so a good day to dive into some crypto. And last but not least, guys, we're going to talk about casting all your anxieties on him in our new creation scripture section, where, of course, this is called Christ and Crypto. So, you know, we got to get our daily scriptures in the last section. As always, each section will be uploaded later, and we'll get that going. I think, and I try to do like 11, 12, and 1, but somewhere in there. Don't also forget, guys, we have our social media thing. Got to do this intro right when we get into here. We got the social media thing. You got Twitter, TikTok. Obviously, you're watching on YouTube right now. But even cooler than that, we are up and rolling on our podcast online. Not just Apple Podcast, not just Google, not just Spotify, guys, but we are officially now on Amazon Music. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you. So go give it a follow on either Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you want to find us. Go do that, share us, and you can kind of get it. We upload the episodes later on in the afternoon. If you missed this and you just want to listen to your car. We don't upload the long sum, short sum, because that'd be crazy to talk about TA when you can't see anything, right? So let me see who's in here this morning before we get rocking and rolling. Oh, man, look at that. We got Lee Lord in here, AJ Edwards, and Dragonfly Crypto. Good to see you guys this morning. As you guys have already done, and as others will do as they come here, please make sure you hit that like button. Where our goal is to get 10 likes per show to keep the algorithm running. That's it. 10 likes, please. And there's somebody that's going through and specifically just hitting dislike. 1 dislike every single video. Somebody does not like this channel. I don't care, because this is where I love. This is where I speak my voice and I'm able to talk about Christ and crypto with you guys as I hit my mic. So, without further ado, you guys have already done that social media thing. So, let's go ahead and jump into the first section, shall we? Let's get that long sum, short sum. Okay, guys, we are here bright and early in the morning. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. It is Wednesday, April 20th. This is Long Sum, Short Sum. You guys know who it is. It's your boy Christian Israel. And we're going to discuss today some fun things. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Constellation, which is DAG, and Netflix. The reason we're talking about Constellation today, guys, and DAG is because we're going to deep dive into that later on in daily topics. So you know what it is. We are here this morning. I see the chat is already getting going. Good morning, Bullish on XRP. Good morning, Alex. It's good to see all you guys hanging out with me. I smile when I see my crew come in here in the morning and kick it with me, guys. I appreciate you. What we don't appreciate, though, is that Bitcoin is down 1.1% over the last hour in the number 1 spot at $41,632. It is over 40K and over 41K and over 39K by default. We like that. Ethereum is sitting over $3,000 at $3,100 right now. We got BNB in the number 3 spot, hitting, kind of chilling like a stable coin around the 420 era at 422.36. XRP, XRP is in the number 4 spot at 75.9, working its way up slowly. Solana in the number 5 spot is at 108.28, kicking above $100 and holding strong. Terra Luna, which was on fire from 75 50 top bottom the other day. Fired up 13.8% over the last 7 days. Sitting at 96.25. Will it break $100 and hold is our key question there. And Cardano at 95.8 cents, still under $1. Last but not least, you got 3 more in the top 10. Avalanche, AVAX, 79.29. Polkadot in the number 9 spot at $19.22. And the Elon coin, still in the top 10 at 14.2 cents per token. So, with that said, shall we go ahead and dive into Bitcoin? I'm going to simplify this for you because we have just been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm going to go ahead and transition this over to a bigger screen for you. Let's go ahead. Boom. All right. So we are officially in a bigger screen right now. And this is the daily on the Bitcoin. And I'm going to keep it nice and simple for you guys this morning, because we are still under the 200-day moving average. If you see the candles, I know they look a little different to you. We have it under Heikin-Ashi, which basically shows us the trend. I'm going to start kicking those in there as I'm looking, because I have just come on to be a signals guy for a group that I will be working with starting next week. So I need to make it a little more clear for faster signals. I don't give out technical signals on this channel. I give trends overall. But since I will be doing that for some people, I'm going to kind of hint to you guys a little bit where my mind is. Right now, though, Bitcoin is under the 50 on the RSI, right? So that little pump here could be setting us up to roll back over, because we still have not broken this 200-day moving average. We are also still under 47,000, and this 21-day moving average here is 42.64, which is where we could see our stop point. Quickly, we just have 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be working on a 4-wave down on this small last part of this A, B, C here that I could be seeing. Don't know if it's true, just possibly seeing. But that's just on the daily aspect. I wanted you guys to get a good idea of what we see here. I need to actually take off. Let's do this so you can see it completely. There we go. Let's take that off. You don't need to see that. Okay. So as you see here, we are over that weekly pivot. We just broke through the weekly pivot. Got support on 39.2 with that coming up. What is that? The 21-day moving average. So we're kind of slowly rejecting off of that. So we'll see where that goes. If we dump in just a little bit to regular candles on this pullback that we have been waiting for to see if 30,000 comes into play or not. Well, guys, so far it is seeming to play out that way. And now why do I say that as we get rocking and rolling? Okay, so here's our high, our low, and our lower high, right? That's kind of, we're working on this 8-hour time frame. So we have 1, 2, 3, and we're working on this 4-wave down. We have come to touch almost a 2.414. You know, for me, that's kind of where we need to touch to roll around. So that is possibly what I am seeing there. As I see things rolling over, we could be finishing that move here soon. But Bitcoin's kind of in a range deal right now. And this is the thing. It's going to be hard for people to honestly trade Bitcoin profitably right now. It is in wash. You're better off finding other places to trade, unless you're okay with tight stop losses and really low leverage. Because this is what I'm seeing on Bitcoin, is that we are going to sit here in this area and begin to kind of range consistently. See this? We've been in this area right here for about 2 months now, easily rocking this up, going up, and you know what? Must go up, must come down. So we are rejecting at the 1.414 right now. Normally, this is what I would say to you guys, okay? Normally, I would say expect a blow up top to 47,461. 47,500 to be safe, right? As a back test to come up before rolling back down. However, the NASDAQ is looking ugly, and I may not be seeing that. So this is kind of a general talk. I'm not going to give you any calls today, specifically on Bitcoin, but we are just looking at here that holding and coming up above this VPVR. So now we are trying to hold 41,200. So for you paying attention to levels, if you're choosing to be in this right now, your stop loss is 41,200 would be a good place for a stop loss. If you were there now, I'd just be very careful, because when I zoom into this smaller frame here, this structure that we have experienced over the last week. Let's check this out. It looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's wave 4 right there, 5, and an extended 5 wave. So now what I'm expecting is a move down. That's just what I look at now, and we are getting that as of right now. Could we come back down and touch this line? That's a possibility. A lot of hedging for me right now because Bitcoin in general is kind of sketchy. I'm just going to be honest. It's kind of sketchy. But Ethereum is a little more clear of a chart here, okay? Bitcoin is just swapping. You can see Ethereum making lower highs, okay? And that's what you want to see. In fact, you see this starting here. You have our double bottoms back here in June and July of last year of 2021. And we have not come back down there. We actually are beginning to work our way out of that. So if man, that's like on the 1 minute chart down there. Let me get rid of all that shmamma jamma. Okay. Now, if I'm going to test a parabola, I'm just going to check this real quick. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm just check something. Nope, it's not going to work. Okay. So I was trying to see if we had a parabola building there. Not quite yet, but what we do see, what we have spoken about is these two levels, guys, here of support and resistance that we have been watching for a while. Reject up here, try to hold this level. It didn't, it broke down, touch the 0.5, which is what we want to see, right? We need to see the 0.5. 100% hold, come back up. So now we are sitting above a larger 2.236 of the move, trying to flip the 702 right here. And this is where we are. That back test on this 3 hours, what we're seeing. You want to see what that looks like a little bit closer? Here we go. Delete. Come back to the arrow. So you see here 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? This is wave 4 and 5 coming down. I don't think that's enough. This more look like an extended wave up. Okay, that's an extended wave trying to hold this. Again, we are looking for 3,035 to hold. I am in a small short right now. Small long with Ethereum at this moment. My entry is $3,093.75. That is my entry right now with Ethereum. My stop loss is even tighter. It is $33,090. So literally, that's a $3.75 stop loss right now. It's about 15x leverage. So that's where I am right now. Just a little move. It's not bad. It's a 6% move right now. I'll try to close this out if we get a little bit. If not, I'll have to lose that little bit. But the goal is maybe if this was the full 2.414, and I will show you here in a second, that this might be the end of that move. It's a possibility. And you know why? Because I love my 2.414s or the full extensions. And we see here, I'm going to just draw my little fib here. Actually, let me keep it whole to what I do for you guys on this show. And we're going to use the other fib extension. We're going to go a high, a low. Here we go. And our lower high. Okay. Same thing, same result. I just want to show you how that gets there without being confusing in a sense. So we're going to we're going to go to the right here actually, so I can show you. So you can get a better idea because yes, we are on the TA line right now. So boom. So where is my entry? I told you it was 30.9375 right off this bounce. This is where I just went long off my 2.414. I got to, and my stop loss is literally right up under that. Because if it breaks down here, yeah, it could wick to this area, but we got a nice close trying to get a bullish candle, maybe a turnaround candle. We'll see if that candle is not inside of that previous candle or not. But overall, I just took a chance here, just to be honest. Could this come back down to 36.33? Yes, and I am ready because I am ready for a buy at 30,040 for the Ethereum. So this is where I'm at now. Yes, I am in a small long right now. If this works its way out, I'm still looking for another target at 3,300. I did make a little bit yesterday on this same type of trade. I got in right here, got out up here. Nope. Where was that at? Got in, what was yesterday? The 19th. Yeah. I got in down here and I got out up here. So it did not quite make it to my target, but I got out here as the night got a little longer, a little later, and wanted to close that out. Didn't want to be in a long trade. Speaking of long trades, oh boy, have we been in an XRP trade hodling for 30 million years already? I'm going to get rid of this parabola because I'm not sure that is correct, even though we are breaking out of it. What I do see in XRP, though, guys, is not pretty right now. I'm concerned. I'm concerned that we're going to have to hodl about 60 to 90 days longer than I thought 30 days ago. So multiple reasons. The XRP, the Ripple lawsuit has officially been, what's the word? Discovery has been reopened for cross-examination. And so now we have extended this probably in under 30 days. And it's just annoying. But I see what it is. However, what I see here, guys, and I'm going to give you a little highlight film here. We have this 4-wave here. That did not break up. It broke down. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little 5, right? So a small extended 5, then 1, 2, 3. Now the question is this wave 4 before coming down to wave 5 and working its way down. And this is not kidding. To 61 cents at least, double tap to 68 cents. Multiple reasons for this analysis here. Here's it's only an hour trend line, not a big trend line, but here's the trend line that we have powered off of, we broke under, and now we have rejected and back tested. Okay, there's one reason. The second reason here, guys, we have a move from the top of our 1-to-1 on March 28th. Okay. Boom, March 28th to our 0 here at 68 cents. We have worked our way down, and the goal always is to look at the 0.5 as a rejection into the 0.702 as a sell of a retracement. Normally, if we reject at the 0.5, let me go ahead and do this so you can see my face. Maybe, I don't know. Do you want to see my face? Okay, so I can speak to you. Normally, when we get guys to the 0.5 on a retrace, as you can see right here, 0.91, 91 cents down to 68 cents. We're now in that rejection zone. And here's the thing. It has rejected off twice there and then under a lower low and then even a lower high. So we have our wave 5, 4, end of 5. All you need to do is get a little bit more for a 5 and then an A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. This could be 4 coming down to 5 to 68 cents. We're rejecting at the 0.5. We're now officially under the 0.414, which is number 3 for the reason. Last but not least, here's number 4 for the reason. See all this consolidation here? Break down. Now we're up under that original consolidation with a rejection candle this morning, right off that 414. So, as yes, in Ethereum, I am in a small long. I am watching XRP because we don't know. In fact, now that I am up, what is that? Yeah, that's a nice percentage there. It's a 9%, 9.28, 9.39% now on the Ethereum long. We will see. Will this back test finish up to here and one more crack for XRP at 79.5? That would be ideal for my Ethereum trade anyway. But we really want to see this break. If there is another crack, guys, at 79.6 and it does not break, this is where we go at least. Now, when I say at least, that's because it will tap here, bounce, and go about 5% lower, which we're looking at 65 cents. That is probably what we're looking at for XRP if on that next attempt up to 79.5 we reject. But again, we might not even make it there because what I see consistently is when we reject at 0.5, then come up under to the 0.414, our next thing is below the initial contact of that 68 cents, which is the low, to 5% lower to looking at 65 cents, which probably will get people freaking out. However, we're going to be long here. Like I told you, I'm starting signals for a group next week on Monday. That'll be a great way to start them out, getting them in great profits right off the jump because this could come back and literally double tap 62 to 63 cents. And I'm excited about that because we should see a pullback as well across the board. Again, Ethereum for $3,000 is on the table. So we will see. Is it going to happen immediately? I don't know. Today is Wednesday. Let's see what happens over the next couple days. I know we got other, what asset? Is it Canada? Canada, I just saw inflation rates at 6%, 6.8% or something like that. That is what I just saw. So inflation's going up, some other things are going crazy, and I understand that. So when we see that happen in the equities market, we have to know that crypto is going to follow. And we saw some cryptos popping yesterday, which normally means a correction is coming. Again, Bitcoin is ranging. So when Bitcoin gets to 56, 54 to $56,000 in that area, which will be a grind up as we get there, guys, cryptos are slowly going to start ranging and eventually get to euphoria stage. And that's when we'll start to really take profits, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen quick, but it won't happen quickly with Bitcoin. Okay? It's going to grind up and it's going to be kind of painful. Speaking of painful, XLM is a painful asset. We know it's got utility, and I'm just going to talk about it because we're going to discuss distributed ledger technology stuff today, and that's kind of what we're going over. Ethereum, no change. I'm just going to say that. No change in XLM. It still needs to break 20.7 cents for me to care about it going up. Until then, 15 cents is still on the table. I'm just going to just be forward and straight honest with you. We are under the 50 on the RSI. On the 1 hour, if I break it down to the 4 hour, we are above, looking to hold. However, that parabola right here that I have needs to hold. This is something I am watching. I actually almost longed this yesterday or 2 days ago. This little area right here. We do have an entry. If you want it, stop loss 18.3, target 26.2. If you want to take advantage of that, there you go. No promises there. That's what's showing up in this moment on the 4-hour time frame. This is not an overnight trade or not an immediate trade. This is 4-hour candles playing out. Could take a week for that to play out. Okay. With that said, Ilya, I do see that. Good to see you, bro. Dragonfire, yes, 68 cents is a great buy zone. If I have a chance to get to World, Ilya, I will. If I don't get it this section, after I flip over between this and the daily topics, I'll hit you real quick with the World, okay? Let's talk about DAG. Constellation, because this is something Ilya always hits me up about as well. We will dive into this in the daily topics today, and why I do not think, or why I do think this is a great long-term buy. In the meantime, I'm seeing not such high targets long-term. I want to go ahead and give you a target of $1.50 is where I am possibly seeing to get Constellation at its top. In the short term, we're looking at a double top touch heading towards 35 to 40 cents. Our first zone of rejection is going to be 23 cents. So this is a great entry. You guys see I have my algorithm set right now that if you're looking for an entry, a good entry probably is going to be that stop at 12.6. Normally when this pops up and says entry, this is what the world is doing, right? Like normal crypto people are doing, not actual traders, but people trying to trade are seeing these. And normally the algorithm allows the computers to trade, to allow me to counter trade that. So where it says some people stops are 12.6, that's a great place for an entry. Why? Because people are selling there, and where there are sellers, there needs to be a buyer. So between 12 and 11 cents will be a great entry. Another entry, and I do remember telling Ilya that 11.5 cents was going to hit before. It came down to 11.5 cents. And do we see a double tap? It is possible with what I'm seeing in the rest of the crypto market. So this is a good one. I wanted you to see the chart mainly because look at this. Last but not least, to show you what this thing is up since launch, as of right now. That's up 4,000%, and we know there's probably at least a 10,000% total gaining here. 35,000, which is about right, is what I am seeing, because there was another one I looked at the other day that was like 40,000 up already. And I'm like, leave that alone. Last but not least, that I've already looked at, Netflix. Man, Netflix didn't even give me a chance to tell you that it was going to go lower. What the heck? It didn't even give me a chance to tell you it was going to go lower. That is dirty ball games. Those are some dirty, dirty ball games. And as I speak, Ethereum is going to drop lower right now, rejecting off the 1.414. Let's see if I'm going to get stomped out. We don't know. Up 4% right now, so we'll see. Anyway, Netflix. Perfect example. Here's your top bottom of your ABC wave here. 1, 2, 3, working its next wave up. It went all the way to the 2.414, guys, which we know that's the key. We're always looking for a turnaround there, right? At least a minimum rejection. We'll go to the 1.414 on a blast off, right? And if it will range and show us there. If it begins to range longer, we're going to look one more touch up to 2.414. and then probably reject, right? That's on average. Sometimes it continues it up. We love to see that. However, this is not one of those times. I literally drew this. What is? Let's see here. I drew this a while ago when this started, but it's actually still going down right now. So I thought it was down 50% right now. Year to date, Netflix is down, oh my gosh, 68%. Netflix is down. Now, I'm not a fan of Netflix anymore. I think Netflix has become just a scathing place to watch television, just to be honest. My personal beliefs, I feel like I cannot watch most of the Netflix shows anymore. From what it used to be, I miss the good old days. But now it is what it is. And people are finally seeing that, which I'm okay with. But if you are a Netflix holder, that's not pretty whatsoever. Probably going to come down about $50 more minimum to see that. So my whole trying to show you Netflix down 50% on the year to date did not work out so well because it literally dropped as I was trying to show you. So right now down 68.82% on the year to date. Ooh, that's ugly. That's not crypto. That is Netflix. So I will do world here after we lock this up because I don't want this section to be too long, Ilya. I got you. So that for now, that is the end of long sum, short sum. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do the social media thing. You know what it is. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to continue this live stream. Thanks, guys. All right, Ilya, before I jump into, let's see, before I jump into our daily section to go over Constellation, let's look up world for you. Do I have, this is actually not even where I do it, is it? Oh, this is not even where I do it. Let's see here. I gotta go. Man, I never look up world. Coin. This is pack. Working myself up. Give me 1 second. And then WRLD. World NFTs. I think this is where I normally do it. Is this where I normally do your chart? Oh, wonderful. Here's the chart, Ilya, that you are looking for, sir. That we have discussed multiple times. And I know you can't see the outside of this. Let me see if I go to big screen if you get something different. Let's transition. Boom. Okay. This is where we are right now. We are back testing as expected. I spoke about this before that said we could be looking at 14.6 to 15.4. And I think I said this a while ago. As this popped out, look, again to the 2.414. You see that movement? 2.414 messed around in there, and it's now working its way back testing. Now, honestly, 0.5 is what you want to see hold. So would this be a good entry right here? Yes. However, I see a better entry at 14.6. Could I take a chance here? 100%, but we have not come down actually to test 11.5 yet overall. So depending on if you see Bitcoin start to make some moves down and we start to see this go on down, Ilya, then there you go. But right now that looks like a good spot, except it did break under the under the 5. Not something I watch or mess with. This is on the daily. So that's kind of where you're at. It's sketchy because it's looking like it can start pushing down, and I don't like all this volume that's starting to come in, and that's a lot of red candles. When all this volume here pushing it up was not a lot of green. So this is a good entry. I would not margin trade or leverage trade this whatsoever. But if you're just buying and it's a little tester, that's a good entry. But in reality, I'm going to tell you 11.5 is on the table. Okay? Cool. All right, so before we jump into Constellation today, let me fade this back over. Boom. I'm going to say hi to, let me say hi to some people real quick. Lee, AJ, good morning to you guys. Dragonfire, good morning. Alex Yeet, good morning, my brother in Christ. Bullish on XRP, good morning, brother. Ilya, good morning to you. Dragonfire, great zone. Yes, 68 cents is an amazing buy. I agree. I'm ready, and this is where we got to go. The only issue is, when people are like, sell your hodl bags. nothing's guaranteed. That's the whole thing. Nothing is guaranteed that there is a dip. That's why these dips are for margin trading or for adding to your bags, not for selling your original bags and trying to get in lower. That's a dangerous game to play. And I'm just speaking from 2017 where I did that and it did not work as well for me trying to swing trade those because once it took off, it took off. So it says, Ilya also says here, oh, no, let's finish Dragonfire. I need more opportunities to get XRP cheap before Moonshot. I want to get my new truck and tank. Hey, absolutely. I agree. Oh man, BMW just came out with a $115,000 electric vehicle. It just launched, talked about it today, trying to get in here. And they're saying electric vehicles are going to be for everybody. $120,000 electric vehicle. Yeah, okay. I'm going to stick to my Tesla. I don't have a Tesla, but if I got a Tesla, that's what I would get over a BMW. Okay, it says, one mainnet launch, most will get priced out. Load up on DAG while you can. Well, we're going to discuss that. We're going to see, because I'm looking at Constellation, because that brother Ilya right there, Ilya, has been on me about Constellation. So we're going to dive into that in a second. And is it a Lamborghini? Is it a Hurricane Spider? Which one should I buy after there's a bull run? My brother, I don't know what to tell you what car you should buy. I'm not big on the Lamborghinis. I live in Dallas. I would never drive a Lamborghini in Dallas just because these people drive crazy here. But if that's what you want, man, I am on board with you 100%. You know it. I love you guys. All right, man, let's go ahead and jump into our daily topic, guys. Let's get it. Okay, well, let's do that reintroduction again, guys. Welcome to the channel. This is Christ in Crypto in the Morning. If you are just tuning into this section up on YouTube, we actually go live every single morning, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., and we do 3 sections. Long sum, short sum, where we go over daily TA analysis, where we use Fibonacci, pivot points, and Elliott wave analysis to kind of get an idea of which direction the market is going. But what's also important with that is what news is driving the market, and that's what this section is. Our daily topics news, where we dive into crypto or anything else. Today is a crypto dive. Like yesterday, we did Hedera Hashgraph yesterday, HBAR. And today, guys, we're going to do Constellation with the ticker DAG, also known as DAG. Now, if you were a part of the very first section or you've been here, you know we just spoke about where this could go for Constellation, so go check that out later. And let's just go ahead and dive into what we may or may not see in this. So let's see here. What do we have? Well, I have done a little digging. Here. Just a little bit. First off, I want to tell you, I only like to discuss certain types of cryptos on this channel. Why has this been brought to my attention? Well, outside of Ilya, whose track record is very well as far as what he is looking for, we have been him and I have known each other for 2 years now, year and a half, and we discuss crypto projects that no one else likes a lot. We were in XDC a long time ago, Gala, some other stuff, way before anyone spoke about it. Him and I love to bounce off, and this is one he's like, dude. So let's talk about it. Now, how did it make my channel? One main reason is this is distributed ledger technology, DLT. And I told you that is where I am. If it is DLT, I am there and I am paying attention to it 100%. Okay? So they are with Web3. That's one thing. That is pretty cool. They are trying to force feed us the Web3 movement. Now, they say Web3 is for the younger generation and regular internet, or regular internet, whatever the regular web is for old people. Now, yesterday, I downloaded this extension for the Stargazer wallet. I have put it in there. And just to be a part of it. Something else I also noticed, they have this door traffic miner, and I'll get into details of Constellation. We're just going to walk down their website. I've got some other tabs open, including what Dragonfire just said about the U.S. Navy. You just, come on, spoiler alert, dude. I'm getting there. But if you guys know more about DAG, throw it in there. I'll search it up. But yes, the military contract and the Navy contract has my attention. But this just launched too, and everybody is trying to make more money. And here's a good way. Now, it's a little weird to me, but it's a door traffic miner. You buy this from them, you put the little thing above your door, and it gets traffic. So if you're a business, an enterprise, you can track data and earn crypto. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty cool thing if you have a business and you're gonna get traffic anyway. Not only does it do your traffic, right, naturally for you, but then you earn crypto. Let me say this. I am not being paid to promote anything from them. In fact, no cryptocurrency discussed on this show pays us. So, next, they have a mainnet dropping 2.0. I'm not going to go into that because I'm not a fan of waiting and doing main notes and all that stuff. Okay? So, let's jump into the ecosystem. I told you this is distributed ledger technology, right? That's what I've told you so far. So let's jump just into the ecosystem. And I'm going to read it to you. As a decentralized network, Constellation promotes collaboration. We aim to be a world-class partner in it for the long haul. That's what they say. They're in it for the long haul. They base their stuff on trust. They base their stuff on openness and small transaction fees, right? They really want people to be able to build their own blockchains using the Constellation ecosystem. Another thing that I have read, guys, is this is more kind of on what they say on the federal level. Now, when I say that, they said the federal level. Like, that kind of caught my attention because you normally hear retail investor or institutional investors, right? These guys, and I'll get there, have said this is for the federal level. Now, Dragonfire Crypto already did my gender reveal there with the U.S. Navy, but that's one of those things that kind of gets up there like, huh? Federal, and now we know that you have military contracts. So that is more reason to dive in. And again, I am big on distributed ledger technology. I'm massive. I love distributed That's just where I am as far as this. That's XRP, XLM, XDC, VeChain, HBAR, Quant is involved with them, and now Constellation, IOTA, right? These are all distributed ledger technologies. And here's the community for Constellation. One thing that sticks out is Amazon Web Services, AWS. So it looks like that's where we're going to run. But then you got this little thing over here called the U.S. Air Force just kind of hanging out over here on the side. Then you got this thing down here called Space Isaac, if you're not familiar with it. Then there's a thing called Blockfolio. I'm sure you're familiar with it. And then there's this thing called Delta, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Chainlink, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Twitter, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Messenger, Telegram, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And of course, our Quant buddy is right there. This is just some of their ecosystem. And there's that federal. There's that federal. The community. See, that's not a tag. That's just kind of like we're going to try to be federal. So I'm going to keep a watch out on this a little bit. They've got some products here. They got a core protocol, network optimization, token health, crypto exchanges, modifications, treasury management. Fun. None of that really matters to me. Again, product partners. Quant. This is what I'm paying attention to. Where Quant is, shall we also be. Okay? Where Quant is, so we all shall be. Moving forward, this is just some of their community partners. All that means is that these guys go out and talk about them, right? YouTube, Telegram, Twitter, Reddit, Medium. This is all news outlets. That's all. Now the business here. So this is what got you see here. It says partners, academia, consortia, and federal. I keep seeing federal. Like, I've done so much research in this space. I'm not going to lie. I don't see the word federal anywhere. Anywhere. I mean, government contracts, military contracts, right? Institutional investors, retail investors. But I'd never see federal. And we keep seeing federal here. So Space Isaac is a business partner of theirs. Okay? Space Isaac is a business partner, and who they are is an analysis and sharing center. That's all. They just share analysis. Now, this is the key. Who do they share it to? I told you, like, federal. Like, I kept seeing federal, and I wish I could have a better one for you, but you got the NSA. Okay? No, I'm going to tell you this. We said Dragonfire said U.S. Navy, right? That's a part of it. And I'm going to go over that article in a second, but I want to show you this. When you partner with Space Isaac, we have to use the same mindset, right? We think when Ripple partners with Santander or the Bank of Brazil or the IMF, right? We're like, well, by default, who those people are partnered with, that's who they're going to work with, right? Even Bitcoin people, by default, use that logic. Well, if Robinhood's going to use the Lightning Network, Robinhood's partner, so therefore we must be partnering with all these people that are going to move Bitcoin transactionally, whatever that is, right? Here, this is really what's got my attention. Again, federal, guys, federal. And we know we're moving to a new world order, right? We know this. We already see it. We have a president right now that's getting moved around by the Easter Bunny. We know where this is going. So again, federal. Cyber attacks are coming, right? We keep hearing that. Cyber attacks, cyber attacks, cyber attacks. Federal. So by partnering with Space ISAC, International Space Association Community or something, whatever that stands for. I just made that up. Communications, it might be. I don't know. But the agencies. I wish I should have got a better one. The NSA, United States Space Force, United Department of Homeland Security, NASA, your defense agency. These are all cybersecurity based things. Those are partners with them. So when we see that, oh, did it take me away from there? It took me away. No, it didn't. Where you at? Okay, yeah. When you see that, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. Now, there's also a data thing here that I want to show you. I think it's going to bring up here, okay? These people join about solutions who we are corporate visions partners. Sofahina. Okay? On the back end here, this is another data space thing. Again, we see that they are looking for data and moving data. AWS is behind it again. I wanted to show you that. Last but not least, is it here? Or was it Splunk? I couldn't remember. Nope, it's Splunk. Splunk is a data platform for the hybrid world. Remember, I told you we're moving into a new world. And this is why this has kind of got my attention as far as the platform is concerned. And let me show you. I know they work with Honda. I'm looking for the other partners real quick. Resources, partners. Here we go. I have to keep talking. Find a partner. Come on. Show me where this goes. Okay, so here we go. One of the partners, Accenture. That was important. Accenture, you guys know, is directly connected with Ripple and Quant. Accenture is a big dog. Okay, and there is Accenture all over here. Let's see. There was one more that I wanted to show you guys in here. These are all their partners. CDW, Cisco. That's another one. Network and communications. We really don't know what Cisco does, but they seem to do everything when it comes to international communications for our government. Cisco is very, very, very involved. Deloitte is also involved. And last but not least, where are you? I think it was like page 7. You're going to give me page 7? Oh, you're not. Okay, I don't have time. Honda was one of them. And yeah, I'm not going to go through all of that. Public sector. Oh, there. Internet of Things. Maybe this is it. Nope. Okay. We'll leave it there. I think that's enough for the partner group anyway. Okay. So let me close those out and go back to this. So we got AWS, Safina, all those things. Now I want to move on to Hypercube because this is something else that popped up for me that I was kind of just curious about. Because there's this different technology, and this is the blockchain that I was referring to as open development. Okay, this is coming within Constellation. So when they are working on a federal level, working with military, and then working with international space communication via Internet of Things, that's where we're working to, right? Because we're in Internet of Value versus Internet of Things, Web3. They've created this thing called Hypercube. Hypercube is anyone can build and conduct a business using Constellation's blockchain technology. So I'm like, what? What are you talking about? It says deploy your own blockchain. What? Using the state channel builder, anyone can configure their blockchain network requirements and data types for validation and notarization. This business-focused framework makes it easy to deploy a scalable network that can meet the demands of the world's biggest applications. Simply define your data types, token strategy, and select your hosting provider. In other words, like Christ in Crypto, New Creation Capital can have its own blockchain. This is something we're looking to do. We want our own blockchain, data points. It's much easier, right? A client asks a question, here's your password, here's your keys, there's your blockchain, right? Like, here's all the data that we need. Here's all the data. Here's your wallet that connects directly to your data. Not only that, we can mint our own cryptocurrency, which is what we want to do. We've already also, we have a while ago. I'm trying to get back into that wallet, right? But when you're creating your own ecosystem, right, it doesn't mean that it's technically going to have a real value, but you can exchange it between other distributed ledger technologies, like XRP for once, right? So if I'm running this on a blockchain, or I'm running this on, and I want to have within my community people to be able to use money that's not XRP or the US dollar, you're able to mint your own cryptocurrency. So they allow you to get your blockchain, allow you to get your own cryptocurrency. Not that, but you're able to manage that crypto and data, which is important for a business. I'm explaining this from a business point of view, right? So if you have fees for a client or expenses, they put all this together for you. Think of QuickBooks on the blockchain, okay? Now, that's just kind of that. I'm trying to keep this quick overview because it's like a 20-minute overview of it. So you got Hypercube. You also got the little door thingy, right, that they do with Traffic Miner. We know who they're partnered with, right? We know who they're partnered with. We know their distributed ledger technology. But this is what Dragonfire Crypto jumped on board, and what exactly they're going to do for the Air Force. Now, this is in 2021. Constellation Network to provide U.S. Air Force with blockchain security for data sharing. I find it interesting that this is the only one that I got out there in August of 2021. Okay, so this is the direct thing that I found from the NASDAQ confirming, right, that they're going to provide end-to-end security for data sharing. End-to-end security for data sharing between the U.S. Department of Defense and its commercial partners. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. That right there deserves a like. Thanks. There you go, Dragonfire Crypto. We went ahead and hit that up for you. Now let's move on to the next section. And this is the military infrastructure. Okay, this is in the end of, July 27th or August 27th. And this was August. Oh, I misread that. I thought that was September originally. So here, where is it at? A little more detail. Here we go. This is more detail. According to the press release, it's focused on Hypergraph Transfer Protocol. Has entered into a partnership specifically with U.S. Transcom, Air Mobility Command, and AMC 618 Air Operations, and Civil Reserve Air Fleet. Okay, so these are the specific ones they have named with. It says, namely, the partnership addresses the development of the standard of security exchange of data between the Defense Transportation System. So we have the data moving back and forth between literally our military transportation system, and Constellation Network is what's doing it. Now, Lieutenant Colonel Therapy spoke on this. He said, being able to quickly and securely exchange information across the 618 AOC's digital infrastructure is critical to our operational security. Equipping our airmen with the tools they need to coordinate mission details while protecting the integrity of our global operations has long been a critical factor when providing 24/7 command and control to mobility forces. Now, this is important because we're in wartime again. We're getting ready to head there, and they're saying that this technology, Constellation, is good enough for the U.S. military to communicate via satellite up to date right now and have all the data there. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. I'll tell you that right now. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. And the co-founder just spoke at ETH 2020 a couple months ago. Okay? And I'm going to read to you what he says here. He says, Speaking to Constellation's base layer protocol, the co-founder boasted the company's status as the world's first L_O protocol, allowing for the platform to cross-chain pollinate between other blockchains with a zero transaction fee. Did you hear that? The first L2O protocol that allows between blockchains to pollinate for zero fee. It says we founded Constellation back in 2017 based on data that was the focus of the utility token DAG, or Directed Graph. He said, rather than focusing on financial transactions, Constellation Network chooses to instead of focusing on transactions financially, instead they focus on data transactions and validating different types of data. At the end of the day, finance really is data. So this is a data-driven thing, and that's kind of what people want in the federal. They want to know what are the numbers, not the ifs, ands, or buts. Here are the numbers. And Dragonfire says Hypercube has powerful computing capabilities to provide high-performance computing power and large-scale data storage support for virtual reality, augmented reality, metaverse, artificial intelligence, big data, and financial apps. Which is awesome, because that's what people want to do. This is for the new world. This is moving forward. Peer-to-peer, decentralized is what they want on our end as well as federal. Now, before I go, I need to discuss this. They were hit with a lawsuit. Now, I don't know much more about it, but just doing some quick Googling, they were hit with a lawsuit proposed over an investor class action over the token swap confusion. Okay. Now, it says Constellation raised $33.7 million in 2018 through an ICO. So let's start right there. Through an ICO. Now we're in regulatory issues. The SEC is coming after them. I'm going to tell you that right now. 100%. Because in this lawsuit, it says Constellation, which raised $33.7 million in 2018 through an ICO, specialized in cybersecurity for big data services. Now, they're going to settle with the SEC because, you know why? They got money. But this will be sued. They will be sued. And it's coming. And that's just my thoughts on that. Based on ICO. So, long-term good investment? Heck yeah, I'm on there. I'm on board with it. I like what I'm reading. It's distributed ledger technology. But where will it fall in when it comes to clarity? And everything sets on there. So, will Constellation go to the $1.50 that I see it? It probably will. But then after that, we could see a whole reset like everything else, guys. So thank you, Dragonfire, for that help on the info. Thank you, Ilya, for shouting out for us to dig into this. And what are your guys' thoughts on Constellation? Do you own it? Do you plan on owning it? Do you just leave it alone? Do you like distributed ledger technology? Or are there other things, guys, that I should be discussing? Well, do that social media thing. Like, subscribe. Almost 10 likes on the show already. Like this too. I'll see you guys soon. Let's dive into that next section. Okay, so we are done with Constellation. We are done with the daily topics. We are done with our long sums, short sums. You know, that leaves us just with our little 10-minute short on our daily scriptures on the day. So, guys, if this is where you get off, I appreciate you for hanging out with me. You know what it is. Do the social media thing. I'll see you tomorrow if this is where you get off. If not, let's get ready because we're going to discuss some fun stuff today in a little daily scripture. So, and out. Let's go ahead and rock that daily scriptures. This is my favorite part of the podcast. Thanks for hanging out. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, then you are a new creation. Okay, guys, what is going on? You are tuned into the new creation scripture section. This is every single morning, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. We discuss this during the live stream. And this is the last part of it. So this will be uploaded later. Well, you're probably watching this uploaded later, just like our daily topics and our long sum, short sum. If you're listening to this on our podcast, on Apple Podcasts or Amazon or Google Play or Spotify, welcome along. Thank you for subscribing and being here. This is the favorite part of the show. This is where we get to talk Christ. The whole reason this channel is called New Creation Capital. New creation. I know it's Christ in crypto, but new creation, right? Because if you are in Christ, you are no longer the old you. You are new. You are a new creation. Your mind has been renewed. And we're going to discuss some of those things about being renewed in your mind. Because when our mind's renewed, we stop putting ourselves first. We try to, right? We try to. And I want to read to you today this scripture, which is 1 Peter 5. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's just about if you choose to bring yourself up, the Lord's going to bring you down. The Lord is going to bring you down. And we're going to discuss this. In the same way, you who are younger, this is verse 5. Submit yourselves to your elders. All of you clothe yourselves with humility towards one another. Humility towards one another. That doesn't mean kiss everybody's butt. Let's start right there. People are like, I don't want to submit myself to elders. They don't know what they're talking about. It's not about saying yes to everything they say. It's about being respectful. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. You know, I have people like, I'm almost 40, right? I've got people my age that just out of habit, I say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, to. And they flip out like it's a bad thing. No, it's a respectful thing. I respect my elders because the Lord has allowed you to live longer than me. Therefore, I just respect you on that point in time that you have lived longer. That's it. But God says here, God opposes the proud but shows favor to the humble. So many people in this young generation are proud and say, screw you, older people. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just a Gen Z or I don't know, whatever old people are, right? Boomer. I mean, I'm a millennial. I'm barely a millennial, but I got people that are at the other end of the millennials as well as Gen Z, like, oh, you don't know what you're talking. We've been doing this. Like my daughter, I'm like, girl, we've been listening to that song or that phrase for 30 years before me, right? It's just about humbling yourself and learning that, you know what? Things happened before I existed. So God says here, humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. You don't need to walk around boasting, right? I'd say on this channel all the time, like, you guys know I wrote a book. You guys know I do other things. I don't do that all the time. I don't like the self-promotion. It's kind of the space that I'm in. But I am trying to promote Christ first, using my voice. And you guys come hang out. You know what to expect when you come here. So this channel is about boasting Christ and trying to humble ourselves every day, that even though we've talked money all morning, to finish it where it all began. And that's with the Lord. And he says here, he will lift you up in due time. And if you're stressed right now, guys, about anything, cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Remember that. The Lord cares for you. If you give him your anxiety and you cast on him your burdens, he will do it. Jesus says, man, come to me all who are burdened. My yoke is easier to bear. Put that on him. That is the whole point. He hung on that cross. Shamed, naked, beaten. No bone broken, though, but pierced at his side. Humble yourself, and he will then cast all his anxiety on you because he cares. But here's important, because when we're at full anxiety, the devil is attacking. The devil is attacking. So we get a nice little reminder from Peter here. He says, be alert and of sober mind. So be alert and sober. That's, that could be multiple things. Drugs, alcohol. You could be drunk on your own image. You could be drunk on your pride. You could be drunk on just what you see around you. It doesn't need to be actually drinking, right? Or smoking weed or whatever. I mean, it needs to be sober-minded. Have the mind of the Lord on tap all the time. Why? Because your enemy, doesn't say the enemy, your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. It doesn't care. He doesn't care who you are or where you are. He is looking for someone to devour. So be alert and sober-minded. What's crazy here is, he says the devil prowls around like a roaring lion. And that's your key there. And that's here's the key of everything here. Like a roaring lion. That means he can come yell at you, rah, scream at you, all in your ear, whispering these things, doing these things, pushing you towards those things, trying to make things fall apart. But here's the key. Like a roaring lion in your ear, trying to make you fall apart, looking for someone to devour. Remember, that lion's roar does nothing. It's a warning. It's a call. But he can't bite you. He can't physically touch you. Everything has to pass through God. So he's God. He says this, resist him. Stand firm in your faith. Stand firm in your faith. Because you know, this is me to you guys and him to us, because you know that the family of believers throughout this world is undergoing the same kind of suffering. Anybody who listens to this channel, anybody who is a true believer in Jesus Christ and what he believes and what he has told us to do and following him, right? We talked about Netflix, for instance. It's all different types of sufferings, but we're all going through that, seeing the world fall apart before our eyes. That's suffering. Now, some of us aren't going through the physical suffering. Some of us are in a really great place, but we know spiritually by looking at the world, that's suffering too. Knowing there are lost people out there, that's suffering too. The devil is coming after you right now, every single day. Oh my gosh, if you just drive in Dallas, the devil is coming after you. But you guys see it. I know you do. Open your eyes. Turn on Netflix. Turn on Netflix. See what they have on those television shows right now and tell me the devil's not coming for you. Coming for our kids. Coming for our kids. The vulnerable. But here's what God says, and we know, we talked about this when Jesus was tempted by the devil. We use the scripture. So he says here, resist him. Stand firm in the faith. You resist him by using the word. We saw Jesus do it, and we do it. Then it says here, and the God of all grace, the God of all grace, who called you, Lee, Dragonfire, AJ, Alex, who else is Lee, Ilya? I don't know who else is in here today. He has called you to his eternal glory in Christ. And after you have suffered a little while, we all suffer. We all suffer, whether it be internally or for somebody else. It says, after you have suffered a little while, he will restore you. Do you hear that? Lee, if you need to hear that this morning, specifically you, Lee, he will restore you. He will make you strong. He will make you firm. He will make you steadfast. So as the devil attacks you this morning and all around us, know that God has got your back. Stand firm, because the devil can only yell, scream, and make noise. But it's up to you if you are going to allow him to take another step forward. So stand firm. Stand firm, brothers. Stand firm. That's the word for the day. This is my favorite part of the podcast. Thanks for hanging out. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, then you are a new creation. Well, my brothers and sisters, that is it. That's it. I'm going to see Ethereum here. Look at that. There it goes. I'm going to show you that real quick. It is playing out. I did get stomped out at like a 0.0001% loss because I was hoping it would go down, but we are still here in this stream right now. But I'm going to get off and I'm going to do this close because I am trying to get into an entry down here as expected in this level 4 to finish off. You can see XRP continue to reject down. XLM, same thing. And the Bitcoin, let's zoom in a little closer. Look at that. As expected, continues to reject down and back test. So we're still on board, guys, still there. Let me see what's going on with you guys on the side here before I say bye and get us out of here. We've got, thank you, Dragonfire. Thank you, Lee Lord. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Alex Leet. Thank you, Bullish on XRP. Thank you, Ilya. I think, thank you, Lee. I said Dragonfire. You guys, I just make sure I got all you guys. You guys come hang out with me every single day, and I truly appreciate you. And like Dragonfire said, no matter how poor you are, good manners cost nothing. But the results of your respect and decency can open many doors to opportunities. Please and thank you also shows appreciation for others. And that, oh God, you guys, I'm about to break down here. I gotta go. You guys mean so much to me because I have a wonderful wife who supports me. I got a daughter who deals with me. But when people who don't know me whatsoever come here and support, that means so much. I appreciate you guys. This is the end of today. So make sure you do that social media thing. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell in the top button so you can be notified when we go live, like we do every single day, Monday through Friday. We hit our 10 likes today. What an amazing thing. Thank you guys so much. This is your boy Christian Israel signing off. And let's hit that WSG clip. Let's do it. See you guys tomorrow.
Bit late for that. I remember talking to an Australian diplomat at one point about this break between the US and China and said, you know, both sides are going to say, whose team are you on? And he said, our job is to make sure the question never arises. But the question has arisen. And so I think we have to go deeper. And it's not about the US versus China. It's about what underpins a world order is always the financial system. I was very privileged. My father was an advisor to Nixon when they came off the gold standard in '71. And so I was brought up with a kind of inside view of how very important the financial structure is to absolutely everything else. And what we're seeing in the world today, I think, is we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new one, the new accounting, is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity over what's going on. It also raises huge dangers in terms of the balance of power between states and citizens. In my opinion, we're going to need a digital constitution of human rights if we're going to have digital money. But also, this new money will be sovereign in nature. Most people think that digital money is crypto and private, but what I see are superpowers introducing digital currency. The Chinese were the first. The US is on the brink, I think, of moving in the same direction. The Europeans have committed to that as well.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and do the thing that people do on social media. At Twitter, at TikTok, you know, New Creation Capital. Let us know, guys. Thanks so much. I hope you guys have a great day. Later, guys.